low lighting, a nice Chianti, and a cut of medium well steak. That is an adult meal. You don't let your kids eat such fine foods. Content warnings can be found in the episode description.
Hello, world, and welcome to another episode of Critical Hit, podcast where we drink beer and talk about everything. I am your host, Red King, and with me always is Crimson and Corona Warden. What is good?
Hello, everyone.
Tonight, we are trying Neon Rainbows by Ommegang.
Ommegang?
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
And we are talking about Quirks from My Hero Academia.
Oh, lovely.
Boku no Hero Academia.
Ha! Did it. for you purists out there.
Right.
We'll say purists because that's not...
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
You're ready?
We are Critical Hit. This is Neon Rainbows. Cheers, bros. Let's go.
Cheers. Ba-bang. All right, let's get in this.
That's a bitter one.
That's terrible.
I knew you want to know what?
Hold up.
No, I really enjoy it.
Why do I like IPAs now? What is happening?
So
I'm an island.
as a fun fact, apparently there's a link between enjoying bitter things and psychosis. So apparently psychopaths really like bitter things. So
That makes a lot of sense.
let's put a number on it, boys. What do we got?
It's a 7, at least. I'm thinking an 8. Why is this good?
7 all day for sure.
I'm concerned about this.
Okay, it's not the worst beer I've had on the podcast, so I can't just I can't be unfair and just tank the rating, right?
You can't dunkel on it.
Leidenkugel. Listen, Roots and Trees and Friends and Things, Leidenkugel, and the hot cocoa fucking nitro.
Oh,
really, really good.
Man, I don't even... Ooh. What's the number? You got to give it a number.
I'm going to go with a 4.
Okay, that's actually not harsh considering your regular
so the thing is that it doesn't... The bitterness isn't what I dislike. Because I do actually enjoy certain bitter things, right? Like, let me take another sip and see if I can quantify it.
I will tell you the thing that I like about it immediately, because with a lot of IPAs, not only do you get a bitterness with it, but you kind of get, like, for lack of a better term, a darkness with it. You know what I'm saying? It's a very like bold.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So this is actually incredibly light. Like it's got like a lot of high, almost like, I mean, kind of citrusy flavors.
So I am getting the citrus, right? There's this weird war happening on my tongue, right? The bitter and the citrus go very well together. But it's almost like one of the hops they used is like, I dislike that hop, and my tongue is like, get that shit the fuck out.
So let's talk a little bit about the stats, because now that you mentioned hops, it's a little bit hilarious because it has a fucking lot of them.
Oh no. Okay,
so we'll go through the easy stuff, right?
Quad hopped.
This is a New England style IPA. It's a juice unfiltered IPA, a little bit hazy. It is double dry hopped, and there are a lot of hops, right? We'll get through the numbers first. 6.7 ABV, so it's a little bit higher horsepower than a regular beer. We're at 45 IBU. It is starting to get into that bitter territory. It is double hopped, right? The primary hop is Mosaic, Simcoe, Citra, Centennial, Topaz. The secondary dry hopping is Mosaic, Simcoe, Citra, and Topaz. So the only difference is that Centennial is for the primary hopping, and we still get Mosaic, Simcoe, Sintra, Topaz as their secondary dry hopping.
So it hops more than a bunny is what you're trying to tell me.
Yeah, it hops for fucking days.
So the funny part is that like the flavor. So if I were to rate this versus Kolsch, right, the peach Kolsch,
Yes.
that had a better front taste but a worse back taste. This is just kind of flat. Like it's not.
It is very same level to the whole way through.
It's not bad to me, but it's not good.
Yeah, I will say that you do normally have like, you know, you get your front palate and you get your back palate are the most distinguishable parts, and then it's like this one has a very consistent ride.
Right, and I think that's actually helping it. Because I hate things that just randomly change harshly.
Yes.
Unless it's something like sweet and sour or something like that.
This is a nice go through the whole way, though.
Right.
To
It's
me,
like I said,
really good.
it's not bad, but it's not Pumpkinhead. It's not whatever else I've rated a 5.
Right,
It's
right,
not because you could open a Pumpkinhead in front of me and I'm like, yeah, I could drink it.
Right.
As long as that stayed cold, I would probably actually drink an entire bottle of Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I would easily drink an entire bottle.
Well, that was your first 10.
Yeah,
So-
Hit it with the damn 10.
I don't know if that creates an awkward atmosphere because it's like
For you basic, absolutely.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm wearing Tim's currently.
You better trade them Tims in for some Uggs, boy.
Listen, Croc.
Yeah, fuck you.
I love my Crocs.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying you can't dunk on someone and expect to get out of this undunked.
Damn.
You ain't getting out of this undunked. I love that shit.
I really,
You just got chicken dunked.
I was really riding on the fact that we don't have video yet. I like being stealth, and you fucking completely blew me up. So before we begin, we are going to do our final segment of D&D Railed for this campaign.
Yeah.
Boom. I kind of spoiled my own fucking reveal. We finished our campaign.
Yes, we did.
Hallelujah. That was crazy. Yeah. I still remember, like, it was such a visceral feeling, man. Like, that moment, and me and Red King jumped out of our chairs.
Yeah.
Ran around. I scared my kids. They were like, why are you screaming?
We, like, exploded away from
like,
the table.
It ain't even that deep. Like,
It's not that deep for them, but for us.
yes.
That was the culmination of, you know, the better part of almost 2 years of consistent meeting and effort and planning. And it was like, for that to happen the way that it did, I lost it.
I think in that battle, I set my own record for maximum damage. I did like almost 300 damage on a single flurry of attacks.
Yeah.
I'd be making monks look like shit.
Dude,
because my
That's
attacks
not
hit
hard.
I was the battlefield leader I always wanted my character to be.
No, deadass, I think you've probably set the record for the longest turn,
dude,
without being stupid. Yeah. You know, because like sometimes turns be getting stupid. It's like, oh well, I've just been sitting around doing nothing, and you're on deck. You've been on deck. Now it's your turn. You just don't know what the fuck you're doing. I think you literally did the longest turn, I think, in that campaign. I want to say close.
Dude.
No, he probably did actually. No, I might have had some bullshit. I think I had a...
No, because the thing about the way you do your thing, because you're such a veteran at Dungeons & Dragons, your bullshit tends to resolve fairly quickly.
There was one fight very early in the campaign where I had just gotten the Arrow Storm spell, and we were fighting like 20 enemies, so I had to make attack rolls against all of them.
That's a little tough.
So yeah, okay, so that's kind of close.
Well, I also do want to point out that my turn,
more interesting long turn, definitely,
because my turn included a lot of your standard bullshitter.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of made it like it padded it out a little bit. It felt so epic. So let me tell you. So here's the thing. I've been playing a Crusader. I started as a Paladin. Then I went Crusader and dipped a little bit in the cloistered cleric and all that. But
all that 3-5 stuff.
Yeah.
All of our 5th ed players don't even understand what the fuck we're talking about.
Dude, I started dipping late though, but I mean that's beside the point. I started building my character to be a more of a battlefield commander.
Yeah.
Where it's not so much because when I started, because I didn't really know shit about D&D starting off, like that's a full disclosure. So I was just, I'm like, I want to do as much damage as possible. That was me. It's like, wow, I'm going to raise my fucking strength. Oh, big fucking surprise. So it eventually evolved into, and this was through a lot of planning with Chrono Warden. I will say that was kind of like, because you've helped me build this character since forever. I wasn't even really leveling up my own sheet until like, the last fucking maybe 10 sessions. So this was kind of like, I mean, this was the climax of that sheet coming together. And it's like, having things like, having swarming assault, having, what was the newest one I got? I forgot the name of it.
Oh, fuck. War Master's Charge.
Yeah, War Master's Charge, which was the beginning of all of it. And it was so epic because I'm like, I get to bring all my guys and we get to charge this final battle, dude. And it was so amazing, dude.
Yeah, it really did work out.
And it was like, we had bonus rolls because of our bard at the time, which is another player in our group. His character's name is Nova. So we had bonuses from that. We had bonuses from Chrono. He summoned. Oh goodness, dude! It was just so much, dude. And it was like, it was amazing, dude. It was amazing to see all of it kind of play out, and it was like the ultimate team play. It was incredible.
Even if we weren't, sometimes we would not have amazing teamwork, but that was the moment. It was like, fucking A, let's do it. We are at actual epic, not really epic level because that's a different thing, but we are really an adventuring party. We did that shit.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
And it was funny because I even had characters, because I was stacking just multiple characters attacking in one turn. That was the whole game. And it's like, I even remember that Chrono's wife ended up missing the first one with War Master's Charge, and ended up in the next with the swarming assault, actually did very sizable damage.
Yeah.
And it was like, just to see all of it kind of play out like that, I was like, oh, I was so hyped. I was like, it was incredible.
Another thing about that campaign it's the first one that me and Crimson ever played. It's the first one we ever finished. Mm-hmm. It was the first one.
Oh,
yep.
You blew my mind with that when you said that.
So I have been playing for roughly 14 years now, and it was the first campaign I have actually finished as well.
I still find that hard to believe. That's crazy.
No, most campaigns tend to fall apart.
Well, I mean, I'm certainly glad that ours didn't happen.
That's the thing. It's a lot of commitment.
Yeah.
And I mean, some of it's just, people move, life happens. And then some of it's just there's intra-group conflict.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. I'm super happy to have one done, though.
I'm really happy to have that be, as a shared experience between everybody on this podcast.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
Yeah, I love that. The first campaign we all played and finished. I mean, and it did feel like a special moment. And it's like, and I remember, we were going around doing Rose and Thorns, and we were talking about, because that's kind of a thing that we've been doing, is that, what can you do to improve this? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And, I remember just kind of going around the table, and it's like, we kind of had our moments, it was kind of like, it was a bit emotional, man, because it's like, and it was special for a lot of people and for a lot of different reasons. And, I'm not going into detail about any specifics because, that's that person's right to say that. But, even your wife shared with us a little bit, and Chrono, and that was, it was nice to be a part of that. So that was very,
for real.
Very beautiful ending in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So now that we have finished our first campaign, or mine and Crimson's first campaign, because I'm a new player, and that's exactly what a new player should fucking do, is get way in over his head and big for his britches. I'm going to be fucking DMing the next campaign. And not just that, but a new system. And not just that, but a new system that's not Dungeons and Dragons.
So we're not going to be able to call it D&D Rail.
Oh, we're still calling it D&D Rail. I don't give
D&D Rail just fits, right?
Yeah,
like
yes.
it's a good name.
we're going to stick with it because
that's kind of our group.
yeah.
Like that's our Vox Machina.
So
yeah.
So D&D Railed will continue at a later date. We're going to take a little bit of a fucking hiatus, a little bit of a breather.
Yeah.
To let me catch up on writing and also decompress and be ready to start fresh in a new Pathfinder 2E campaign, because that's not fucking motivated by anything pop culture adjacent. But it is almost the perfect segue for our current subject.
Something pop culture adjacent.
Yes, something pop culture adjacent. And this campaign is going to be superhero themed, which works perfectly for the subject for tonight, which is Quirks. Not necessarily My Hero Academia, the entire series. We can do that, but since we're little fucking content whores, we're gonna stretch out into two separate things. We're just gonna talk about Quirks. Now, I think we're gonna be able to avoid a lot of the spoilers for the current season, and the current stuff. We're going to try to do that, but spoiler warning for some of the previous stuff. If you haven't watched, seasons 1 through 4 at least. Yeah. You've had years to do it. Here's your warning.
Yeah, there's no excuse for it.
But here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give us all a little
overview
of Quirks, right?
Yeah. And we're not talking about that weird blinking thing you do, or the fact that you have a mole on your cheek. That kind of quirk. We're talking about super fucking.
Exactly.
How loud you are.
Let's. How dare you?
I'm going to speak incredibly softly for the rest of the episode.
And you're still loud.
Yes.
Damn it.
He's present Mike.
Yeah, you really are.
Yeah.
So, in My Hero Academia, Quirks are the name of the superpowers that all of the characters have. In this universe, roughly 80% of its world has people who possess some type of superhuman extra ability.
Yes.
That has been called a quirk. The background on Quirks is that roughly, fun fact, the main characters are like the fifth or sixth generation of quirk possessors.
Users, yep.
So more or less it's been roughly 100
20.
100 or so years since the first quirk ever appeared, which is, and they said it was in China.
Ching Ching City.
Yep. A baby that glowed, the luminous baby. Besides that, it has been more and it's been more and varied ever since then. We've had many different people that were kind of like instrumental in that plot line, and basically when quirks happened, everybody was just randomly getting them.
Yeah.
The percentage of people who had them were much lower.
Yeah.
And it kind of it took that universe into a little bit of an apocalypse where people freaked out and were like, I've got superpowers, so fuck your laws.
Well, society did kind of collapse.
Yes.
Which it would. Let's be fair.
Yeah. If I suddenly was able to just
I'm gonna fuck everything up. No, you're not.
there's some people who were like, no, you're not. all the people was like, fuck you, yes I am. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the biology of quirks, right? So in My Hero Academia, one of the ways that people test to see if you have a quirk, there is a lack of a third toe joint.
Second pinky toe joint.
Yes. Yep.
What?
Yeah. So
What?
Yep. In people who possess quirks, that joint has fused.
Huh.
Right. So basically, they only have the middle joint in the pinky toe. They don't have the top part.
Well, I feel like that was probably because
No, in the first episode.
because you got to remember, I watched the first episode forever ago. Because
Yes.
I started watching it when it first started.
when it was
coming
starting
out.
to be
When it was
simulcast.
running.
Yeah.
He was the cool kid who was like, you should check this out. I was
Yeah.
like, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
That motherfucker looks like he cries too much.
You
So-
were wrong. You have a line, but you right.
So that
Beginning, he did.
Yes.
you X-ray your kid's foot, and they got they either do have that third joint, which means they're quirkless, or they don't have that third joint, and means they have that DNA mutation that they will have a quirk, and usually it manifests itself at age 2 to around age 4.
That'd be fucking chaotic. Let's be honest.
No, because like think about characters like Hagakure, who she was a regular girl for the first 2 or so
No,
years of
I
her
think
life.
she was born invisible.
I might have to look that
That'd be
up.
fucking terrifying.
Because that's the
anyways.
thing, right?
There are some characters who manifest it immediately, like
present Mike and the luminescent baby.
Yeah, so Present Mike's voice was huge.
Because when he's just crying as a baby, it's just blowing out everybody's eardrums.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep rattling through these facts about quirks, and then we're just going to start talking about quirks, because there's a great many of them, right?
Yeah.
And they all fall into 3 categories, 3 main types. Emitters, which allows your body to change something outside or emit something. Examples of this would be like Todoroki's, half cold, half hot, just being able to blast something. All Might's considered an emitter somehow, even though
It seems a bit fucking.
Well, the thing about All Might is that everybody's trying to figure out what his is.
right.
Yeah.
But he can generate wind, which is probably why.
Yeah, it's like it's somewhat emitter adjacent, and he can transform, which brings me to my next category. I'm like a segue master. I don't give a fuck.
By this point.
Transformation, which allows the quirk user to transform their body. Kirishima is an example of this, where he could just turn his body into
Harden.
stone.
Yeah.
Like,
Tetsu.
Yeah. That's
tetsu.
AKA Gajiel from Fairy Tail, because, hey, that's the same voice actor.
Yes.
Listen,
And Gajiel is the Iron Dragon. and
you're gonna
it's metal.
run into
Oh
a
my
lot of them when
gosh.
you watch English stuff.
Yep. Because like 70 people do all of the anime.
Yeah.
No, it's just the fact that it's so similar a character.
Yes. He's the Iron Dragon, and
Yes.
and now he's the Iron Dude.
He's Stephen Boy.
And then transformation quirks are the rarest type. Emitter is the most common type. Mutant, it falls kind of
In between.
in between, and mutant is it just basically permanently alters your body. So if you're
So here's
the
the
tail guy,
Fumikage with
Yeah.
his bird head.
so Fumikage was actually really interesting thing, because technically his quirk type, Dark Shadow, is an emitter.
Yes.
Yeah, but he
but
also
his
got a fucking
DNA is mutant.
So here's the thing: there.
So
Tho-
he probably qualifies as hybrid.
Yes. The halfway thing happens it happens with the newer generation
Yeah.
of quirk possessors, right? So, it usually, supposedly, it fell into one of those 3 categories, as one quirk user and another quirk user have babies, and the quirks mix. Those mini mutations, and that's what it is. Like, what's her face? The acid
Ashido.
Yeah, Ashido.
Yeah.
Mina Ashido.
She has different colored skin and horns.
Yep.
Even though that has nothing to do with her emitter type quirk.
No, she's just a fucking tiefling.
Can I sidebar real quick? Chrono, I am impressed by your My Hero Academia knowledge because
Dude, I'm further in the anime than these guys.
Yeah, he beat us.
what the fuck?
Yep.
I'm on episode 124.
Well, you're further than me too because I've been waiting for these assholes.
No, we've been waiting for you, asshole.
Motherfucker, I've been over. I've been here. No, but however, I'm surprised because you started watching it, what, like 2 months ago?
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah, so yeah.
My wife and I are binging like 2 seasons at a time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, fair enough.
So that is that's more or less all that there is to brief yourself on quirks. That's how basically it works. That's how a quirk works. Rhyming.
How that quirk works.
You know, I was out there quirking.
Oh my
Get out there quirking on the table.
You know, what if somebody does have the quirk twerk?
Like some type of seismic twerking ability.
See,
Throw that thing back and create an
hold
earthquake.
on. Wait, I got it. Because here's the thing: the hero name would be Twerk, but the quirk name would be Thunderclap.
Bro. That's amazing. That's fucking amazing.
Have no fear, Thunderclap is here.
That
They
would be
fly
insane.
with that.
Damn. Listen.
Thor spins his hammer, Thunderclap flaps them cheeks.
So we'll talk a little bit about because I'm not gonna let you fucking wild out like that. We're gonna talk a little bit about the actual quirks, right? So there's kind of like shitty ones, and the shitty ones would be like the dude who can fucking grow his fingernails really long, or like, you know, and the extras who have like really long necks, and that's it. Like, that's all you fucking got.
Could you imagine?
You're the next evolution of human, and you just got a long ass neck.
Right. You're a giraffe, and somebody can fucking turn into a rock.
That's
Just comparatively, like turning into a rock is not that impressive speaking, but
still.
compared to the guy that's a giraffe,
'Cause, like-
that's way cooler.
Because here's the thing, like it kind of pisses me off, right? Because there are quirkless people, and they are looked down on by the ones who have quirks. Like in the first episode, like Bakugo tells Midoriya to like jump off the roof of the school. He said swan dive and die, and then maybe you'll be reincarnated as somebody who has a quirk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a piece of shit.
And his cronies, his flanking dudes, one dude just had a long ass neck.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
the guy that
how
got
the
the dragon
fuck?
wings can kind of talk down because that motherfucker can fly.
Yeah, he can fly. He's
Hold up. Hear me out. The dude with the long neck. It all depends on how.
Oh my
It all depends on how you.
think I
Are
know
you about
this
to
one's
get thirsty?
There is ways that you can be a hero outside of saving lives.
Okay.
I hate
here's
OnlyFans.
here's the problem
Only
with that
Quirks.
long neck, right? Your carotid artery is going to be so fucking long.
Yeah.
I can look at it and probably snap it, and then you're just dead.
Just don't deep throat an assassin.
Oh.
How,
I knew it was gonna happen.
dude? You are a fucking washing machine. You generate so much fucking thirst. There's just water. You're wash.
That's his hero name is Wash.
Yeah, the washing machine hero.
Crimson, hero name Wash. Quirk, Thirst.
That's so bad.
Like if it breathes, he gonna thirst. He's just gonna think about it. Like it's like
You looking mighty fine over there, sir. That's a tree.
what that bark do?
It bites.
I don't even know how to fucking handle this, right? Like
Oh, I'm gone. I'm lost.
so like Damn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I knew this was going to happen. Like, as soon it doesn't matter what it is. Like, somebody's going to have, like, some ridiculous quirk, and it's going to make them look like a complete freak of nature. And this freak is going to be like, what that thing do?
How can I use that?
Right? Like,
That's a nice neck.
disgusting.
Like they're just both in Midori and I'm just in the back.
It'd be a
Looking
much
like Shaq and a fucking flank of meat.
exactly like he would be the worst type. He would.
You're Mineta.
No, he makes Mineta look chaste. 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 He make him look like a
nun.
yes. Oh my gosh.
Me no. Anyways.
So speaking of Mineta,
What a piece of shit.
yeah, his quirk is just so
Being awful.
like
Pop off.
yeah. I love the name of that quirk. I love that it's called Pop Off
Yeah.
because he's always popping off and just being completely fucking ridiculous.
It just sucks that it just ended up. One, it's like just a terrible quirk in general. And then number two,
I'm gonna argue it has its advantages.
you're going to argue sticky balls as a decent quirk.
No, because if you throw it at somebody's feet, they get stuck, bro.
The other thing is that he doesn't
great.
stick to them, right? So it gives him a lot of maneuverability and it hinders people.
He can also spring jump off of them.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. Because he has no resistance on them. They're squishy, right?
Yes.
That sounds so wrong to say.
We're talking about Mineta's squishy, sticky balls. Fan fucking test.
Oh my gosh, why?
This is the
I know
pinnacle.
I know we're talking about it, but you don't have to talk about
This is
it.
the pinnacle of our fucking podcast.
We're going to Australia.
Right. So like I would say it ranks pretty low as far as a quirk goes. It's useful. Like I could see how you could do it if you were a hero, if you had that quirk.
He'd be better as a rescue hero.
Because it's tough to get them. It's tough to get the stuck objects and people off of said balls.
Yeah, because it's
Rubbing
tough to get them
alcohol.
off. Oh,
Wait, rubbing alcohol? Is that literally it?
so
I don't know if they've ever done it in the anime, but generally any solvent.
Right. Okay.
because here's the thing too is that you got to think about it like this: nobody's generally gonna be fucking in their everyday life nude. So 9 times out of 10 it's probably gonna be clothing that sticks to it. So worst comes to worst, you lose a pair of shoes or a shirt.
Are you really saying you're gonna drop trow to get
Oh fuck yeah!
get free?
Oh yeah! Oh absolutely! If I'm like, oh no, I'm falling from this building, I get stuck to the building with sticky balls from my pants. That first off, that's horribly unlucky.
No,
Second
so the thing is that now he's evolved this quirk, right? He can put it on a vine.
Yeah. That was going to be the other part. That's one thing I forgot to mention about quirks when I was talking about quirks.
Quirk illusions.
Awakening is the first stage where your quirk just manifests and you know that you can use it. If you use it and you get good with it, it can evolve. You can do more things.
Which, I mean, because we watched a whole training arc in the anime about them trying to power up their quirks. But, no. Like, that's the one thing that I do greatly appreciate about My Hero Academia is the whole, like, power thing is that you can actively try to make it better.
Yes.
Like, you know,
Well, it's like they say, it's a part of you, right?
Yeah,
it's like a muscle.
Yeah. It's just any other part of your body that you can train. You can improve your intellect. You can improve your muscles.
which, like, let's keep it a buck. My Hero Academia is less a shonen anime, more a workout anime.
Yeah, it's fitness.
Yeah. It's pretty much like weirdly enough, yeah, man. It's kind of cool.
So, like, one of the powers that I found was it obviously has its usefulness, but I found it to be kind of lower ranked. Was snipe.
Who had snipe?
So,
Snipe.
yeah, his
Snipe.
his quirk is homing.
Oh,
So he fires bullets, just regular ass bullets, and they aimbot towards an intended target.
He can 360 no scope.
Now here was the thing.
He's a fucking aimbot.
Yes, he really is. So the thing about Snipe, which they should have just called him aimbot because he can't actually snipe. Homing will send the projectile to the intended target. You can't aim. So if you're trying, I'm going to shoot the weapon out of his hand, and you send a bullet, it could just rail him right in the head.
So it's literally just goes to the target. That's no specific part.
The other downside to the quirk, because every quirk has a weakness, is that it will lower the velocity of a bullet. Mm-hmm. So homing will make a bullet travel slower. It could theoretically make, say, a baseball travel faster, but something that's flying at the speed of sound will slow based on homing.
So now it's dodgeable. It's potentially...
Yeah, you know, obviously, it will go slower than the speed of sound.
So he should be using airsoft weapons.
Whoa!
It doesn't have the mass.
Oh.
Paintballs.
Rubber paintballs, because like they have the same diameter at hole.
Just get the capsaicin paintballs.
Yeah, you never miss. And it doesn't matter where you hit at that point because it's going to break anyway.
Because we're breaking it down here. we're trying to tell you how to use your quirks better.
Yeah, that was the one that stood out to me a lot because it kind of, and it was kind of interesting because they had a lot of different themes in the first and second season that they really abandoned when they went forward. One of them was firearms.
The story, no, I can't spoil.
Hey, wait.
That's worth it.
Yeah,
that's fair. But
or do you want me to drop? Because this is manga spoilers.
I do not.
Listen. Guys, I am technically really, really far behind in the sense of like the anime is just catching up to the manga.
Not really.
I'm just catching up to the anime.
Right.
So it's like, I am. It's one of those things where it's like that's
because just dangerous to give you an idea, chapter 380 drops this month of the manga.
Wow.
Isn't it pretty much fucking over? Because
it's ending probably this year.
Because what is it? I'm gonna butcher his name. Horikoshi. Correct. He straight up said he's like,
it's coming to an end. He said it should end. Like it was supposed to in 2021 December. He said if there's no delays or anything, it'll probably be done by December of last year. But COVID is a bitch.
Yeah, big fucking bitch.
Fair enough.
Let me think.
You know what is a cool quirk? Fucking dragon.
Yeah, that's a fucking awesome one. That's an awesome one.
My only problem is that she's just flesh colored. So the hero with that is Ryukyu, the dragoon hero.
Yeah, and she could turn into a...
She turns into a legit fucking dragon. It's just flesh colored dragon. She doesn't change colors to like red or anything.
Yeah.
But how about the fucking fact that somebody made clothes that can switch from normal form to dragon form and back?
So can I tell you my favorite quirk that I've seen in My Hero Academia? And like might be an obvious choice, but Eraserhead has one of the baddest quirks.
Erasure?
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Because here's the thing. All he has to do is just boom, make eye contact with you once. He doesn't have to hold eye contact.
Yes, he does. He has to be looking at you.
He has to not blink. That's the rule behind it. As long as he can literally disable multiple quirks as long as he does not blink. Then it will not. That was the one because I used to think that. I used to think that he had to be locked eyes with you. He's got to make eye contact with you once and not blink. That's the biggest thing.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. So
but he does have to keep you in his field of vision.
Generally, yes, but as long as he hits it just kind of once, he's good. And like that,
because peripheral counts.
Yes, it does. Because as long as he's within that 110 degree peripheral vision arc, you're stuck.
Yeah, and that was one of
the one thing that it can't disable is mutation quirks.
No, yeah,
Can't unmutate.
Yeah. That's the one thing is like, which granted,
Right,
all
but
our
like,
examples
so if you have a mutation quirk that lets you spit acid, though, like let's say you got
Lizard instead of frog.
yeah, like I wonder if it could disable the acid spitting part.
He could not.
Okay.
Yeah, yep.
Mutation type quirks that. So mutation type, it changes your body form and chemistry.
Well, yes, because Sue she's a frog.
And she has extra body parts.
Yeah, she has the tibia tarsus of a frog. She has that third leg joint that lets them super jump.
Yep. And that
you can't untail Ojiro.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I will say that as far as
Eraserhead can't, but Chainsaw could.
Oh my lord, that's a little dark.
That's really dark. Another thing is like these guys. A lot of the main characters are kids.
Yeah,
I mean, they're fighting a war.
It's really fucked up.
Yeah,
like the amount of
it's an actual Yakuza.
Yeah, they were fighting Yakuza. Then they went
to Chie Hasaikai.
Yeah, and then they went on to fighting an actual war against like a group that literally calls themselves an army.
Yep.
Yeah, they're fucking kids, and they're gonna go out there and theoretically die.
Yeah, and the government totally they were not telling them what the scope of it was. It's like the thing about what makes that series great, and I didn't want to get too far into the series, but I will a little bit, is that damn it, they really made things feel real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the government being shady cunts and then raising a child army of kids who just this is super powered Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts until they actually get a job.
Which is fucking crazy because it does jump off that quick.
Yeah. And they're sitting there like, oh well, we'll clear them to do some provisional licensing and these kids are like, oh my gosh, this is great. Go fight a war. Like, damn, son. Got me fucked up.
So you know what's an interesting quirk now that I'm just thinking about it? So they have the characters that fail the provisional license test, right? So they have to go to the remedial courses.
Yes.
And they bring in the elementary kids. And one of them just straight up has a fucking quirk called Tongue Tank.
Yes.
And his tongue turns into a tank cannon and he just shoots. And it's like full force tank cannon.
How the fuck?
So here was the...
Well, that's the thing. His tongue is normal. He has to activate the quirk to change.
A transformation quirk.
That's fucking...
It's a transformation with some emitter. So that was going to be the next thing about... This is what actually makes me excited to have this as a subject, is I can go deep into what a quirk is and does. Mm. I don't get too wrapped up in trying to cover ground as far as a series and a storyline and stuff like that. So it's actually really refreshing.
Yeah.
So that was the idea. About the quirks, and these kids, they're getting stronger and stronger quirks because more of them are mixing.
Yes.
And the idea is like we're getting in that universe, you're getting characters who are not just they don't just have transformation quirks, they have transformation part emitter, transformation part mutation.
Yeah.
Which I feel like was a really kind of smart choice, just kind of if you think about it from a writing standpoint, and they say this is, you said fifth generation,
fifth, sixth, depending on some of them might be seventh or eighth.
Yeah. So
they're still like babies.
So this has been passed on, and like you even see it with mild spoilers. You even see it with Endeavor picking his mate, so to speak.
Yeah, quirk marriage is a thing in that universe.
And like that's kind of cool that
in the beginning that was a way bigger thing. Endeavor just is the most famous and recent example.
Yeah.
So it and that's the thing, that they made the quirks a part of the universe's social development.
Right. Well, that's the thing, right? It has a part in your genetic code, and you can pass that down.
Once they figured out that quirks could combine and that you could make different new ones, there were people who were just marrying and mating for quirks.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it kind of really, like, it took it back to the old days. You know?
It did ye old out on that shit.
Yeah.
And that was the other thing is there is, and it's all like supplemental stuff and side story crap.
Yeah.
Which they need to go deeper into this. There are in that universe a doomsday cult.
Yeah.
Who they call it quirk singularity, that eventually these quirks are going to combine and strengthen so much that humans won't be able to survive their own quirks.
Right.
They'll just run rampant. And, like in the case of Todoroki, he has both of his parents' quirks, but he also, his weakness is his body cannot defend against the heat or the cold that he generates.
No, if he overuses it, like if he's just using one or the other, he's okay.
Yes.
But when he starts to just do one and one and one, because in the fight against Midoriya, you see he's starting to frostbite.
Yes. And this in-universe doomsday cult, they're saying that, so like the idea is like people will start spawning. Why did I say spawning? People will start being born with.
This motherfucker's playing Call of Duty over here.
Respawn.
They'll start being.
Hold the point, bro.
They'll start being born with like the version of like imperfect one for all.
Yeah.
Where you use it and blow your fucking body apart.
Right.
So and this is actual confirmed in-universe shit.
Yeah.
There's a doomsday cult that does like terrorist act and try to kill.
Yeah, they try to call the population a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there's a that's not the only one though. There's one that feels like humanity shouldn't have quirks at all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all these different there's groups of people who have these beliefs, and it's a very fleshed out universe.
Yeah.
I think
I think that's one thing that because I've seen a lot recently, like because My Hero Academia went from like the most like heralded shonen anime and manga series to come out in a while to you have this weird split of like just people who just fervently hate it and people who sing its praises. And I think that's one thing you can't deny is that a lot of the shit in series was thought of.
Yeah.
A lot of it was written out, a lot of it was told to you, So I feel like it's kind of one of the more fleshed out series, even though it hasn't run as long as some of these, you look at your Narutos, you look at your Bleaches, which, I mean, I have nothing against those particular series. I'm not the hugest fan of Naruto, I'll be honest, but it had its moments in its own right. I will still fuck with an episode of Naruto and even still like watch some highlights and be like, that was good.
It took them a long time to establish like deep lore and make it meaningful.
Yeah.
Like when One Piece, I don't know how fucking long it took for them to actually start to establish the Will of D thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like, My Hero Academia just kind of like fucking hit the gas.
Yeah, and I
almost too much that they didn't get to cover some of this shit.
I do think that I will agree. I will actually agree on that. That I think they kind of really went fast through a lot of it, and it's like, I mean, they still did enough, but it was definitely something that could have. I mean, maybe you never know what the plan is. Could be some prequel series. There's a manga.
There is a prequel manga series, The Vigilantes.
Yep. Which I'm like that. If you're a manga reader, hopefully there's an anime. That'd be kind of cool. I'm not a reader. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but manga. It's just comic books.
No, there's nothing. I have nothing against manga. I have nothing against comic books. I have nothing against any form of literature. I'm not a reader. Like,
you want to know what's kind of interesting as a little sidebar? You went and you and your wife bought my wife the first 4 issues of Spy Family. And I was reading through it, and you want to know what? For a hot minute, I forgot how to read manga.
You tried going left to right.
So I was paging right to left, but I was reading left to right. I had myself all fucked up.
Yo, I do want to give that though. That art is nice. I looked at a couple pages.
Yes, really good.
Ooh.
So we talked a little bit about Quirks. We talked a little bit about English. Stupid quirks that sometimes they work. Like, it's easy to like pick out dumb quirks, right? Like fucking long neck, stupid nails, idiotic face. Like, so there were some
Idiotic face. Me?
like there was just
He did look at you when he said that.
Yeah, I noticed that.
sometimes you be acting stupid. I can't even.
Oh no, it's raining.
What am I supposed to do about that? But there are good quirks, right? And like, you can't write a show about superheroes and not make fucking awesome ass quirks. So, one or two of the best ones, personal opinion, and because you're not gonna tell me what
Fierce Wings is one of my fucking favorites.
Fuck yeah.
from Hawks.
Hawks. Because the utility of that, because that's the thing, right? He can control each of these individual feathers and knows where all of them are. He can listen to the vibrations that they pick up. It's reconnaissance, it's attack, it's defense.
Yep. No, completely love that one.
So what was Gentle's quirk? What was the name of that one?
I can't remember, because his is actually pretty good.
It's real. I like that one. And as a hero, his shit would have been awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
He wanted to be one so bad.
Yep. Being able to change things springy was basically his quirk, right? And it has so many different applications.
Yeah.
Once again, it's that same thing where you could use it as a defense. You could put something up in front of you and turn it springy. If like a car is flying through the air,
Elasticity.
Thank you.
There we go.
The Googling skills from Chrono.
Yeah,
fucking clutch.
he's quick to it. Dude,
Swift as fuck. On a
I
scale
got a
of
black
what?
belt in Google Flu.
I'm sitting there like a 75-year-old on my phone, like
Hunt and peck with one index finger, looking past your glasses. In my case, idiotic. But elasticity.
I'm just looking past my inebriation.
I can't even see past that. It's a cloud.
Well, it's dark, so.
Oh, dang it.
Emotion. Chrono.
That was a good stack. I love
Quirk,
that.
emotional damage.
There is no therapy button.
So I think elasticity, like from a hero standpoint, just from a general standpoint, it's an amazing quirk in my opinion.
Well, it's the fact that it can even do it to the air.
Yes, he can do he might have actually gone through an evolution or two. The amount that he can do with his quirk, because the idea of like quirk evolution is it comes from a need.
Yeah.
And I think he probably has had it.
Yeah.
Just from his backstory. He was a really weird side character in like
season 4.
Like a filler arc. But damn it, he was really good.
Yeah.
And his fight against Midoriya was actually really entertaining in my opinion.
Oh my gosh, dude. There were so many good fights.
Like the amount of saves you could do if you could turn things elastic.
Yeah.
I mean, not for nothing, but like if someone's falling, you could turn the ground elastic. You can turn that motherfucker elastic.
I don't think it works on living things, though.
You might have a point, but still.
But so imagine like if he just touches two cars that are about to hit, and
so now here's the thing, though, is that if you were to think about it, it might not work on living things. Quirk evolution.
Yeah, like
it could.
If he evolved it, I mean, it could. Yeah.
All
right, but then you have a different problem. If he wasn't who he was and went hard villain with that, and it started affecting living things, now your skull's elastic.
Oh,
jeez.
And he fucking like bangs your brain around and kills you.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah, you just get your eggs scrambled.
that's rough. Ooh, like the amount of fucked up things you could do with Quirks. Yeah.
My favorite one, obviously, you kind of already know because I've talked about it. But I'm going to talk about my second favorite one, which is kind of a mix between two. So you remember Fat Gum.
Oh yeah,
Right?
Fat Gum's cool.
And
Yes.
what was the dude's name from the Big Three?
Oh shit.
Sun Eater?
Yeah,
Sun
yeah,
Eater.
yeah. So when you eat stuff and then that turns into something.
Right, you
Like-
gain traits of what you
Yeah,
eat.
yeah, which I really like. That was always like a very like cool style of quirk to me because it's like you could kind of like if you think about eating like I eat some freaking squid balls. I forget what the fuck they're called.
Takoyaki.
Yeah. And then it's
So
like
yeah, because he eats
Yeah,
octopus. So he
yeah.
gets the
yeah, and it's like, and you could eat a number of things to get different powers. Like you could get, in Fat Gum's case, you could just the amount that you eat, which motherfucker I love to eat. So like,
Right.
playing games,
the fat taxi.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That was
bro.
hilarious. Jump in my fat.
Yeah,
And he's like at a regular run. He's not like booking it.
No.
That
No.
taxi just allows him to carry a couple of
So
people.
here's the thing though, right? It is kind of impressive that he weighs that much and can still hit a sprint.
Right.
That's true. That's true. That's a lot of bonus.
But then when he runs, like when he releases everything, and then he's just this buff
yeah.
dude.
That generated so many fucking memes. That was hilarious.
I cannot tell you the amount of hype that scene.
Oh, yeah.
like it was crazy, dude. Because
That show's lousy with hype.
dude. It is.
It gets so much of it is just so hype all the time.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
almost like if you sprint, like if you marathon that show, you might like burn yourself out. You might
Dude,
be like brain dead from all the freaking hype.
like I can't even tell you. It's like it was I believe season 2, which was their little tournament arc there.
Hat.
Oh my gosh, dude! Like still to this day, when I think of Todoroki. Like this is the reason why Todoroki's the GOAT, man. Like the Midoriya versus Todoroki fight.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Midori
dude.
is just breaking
Yeah,
bone after
yeah.
bone after bone.
And dude, it was like you could look at these two people and it's like, man, they were going at each other, and it was like, oh, it was just crazy. The animation was crazy. The stakes were crazy. The emotion was crazy. I'm like that is literally like when they say, why does every shonen have a tournament arc? That's fucking why. Because you could do that.
That's the thing, though. Tournament arcs in shonen anime tend to be some of the best arcs.
Yeah.
Like they get the bad rap, but they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
They generate the hype moments because that's all that it is. You don't have to tell somebody why it has to happen.
Yeah.
They're just gonna bust out and use their best moves just fucking because.
Because they want to win.
Yes.
Stop trying to tell a story in a tournament arc. That's the
Yep.
problem.
Yep. Beat that ass, use their best moves, and generate the most hype.
Yeah, but the eat recycle type of cork is kind of there's a couple of people who kind of have that because there's the one dude with the sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar Rush.
Yeah.
Even Yayurozu.
Yeah.
She
Well,
The
so
lipids or whatever.
so
yeah.
lipids are fat.
Yeah. Which
No, her power is fucking sweet though.
so no, the power's fucking awesome. I have issues with the character.
I hate you.
No.
Thirst quota
No,
achieved.
wait. No. It's not that this time. It's
Oh,
not that this
okay.
time. I'm actually really not okay with how because if you look at the dudes who have like an use something type of quirk, they're not like.
Yeah, like Sun Eater has got different body parts.
Yeah, they're not.
Fat Gum is fat.
Yeah.
Yayurozu is
Because you're using fat.
well.
so
Like-
lipids, technically calling it just fat is an oversimplification.
Right.
Well, dang it, man. Stop with the science. Don't give me any scientific reason to be
Okay, but we just talked about the fact that quirks are genetic tied, so
you're
they
right.
have DNA, which means they mix.
You're right.
And meiosis is fucking crazy.
So one thing that
Damn you.
thinking about Gentle as a hero, his elasticity quirk would be amazing, right?
Yeah.
Thinking about Yajirozu as a villain, she would be a counterfeiter.
Dude,
Right?
why?
And like really,
Oh, yeah.
really like basically a crime boss level counterfeiter.
Well, think about it though. She could just make a fucking gun and she'd be an assassin.
or just
actually.
it's a situation where like unless you're able to really pay attention to it, if you have the opportunity to study something enough, you can make fake jewels. You can make
Well, the thing is that what she creates is the real thing. So if she says, I want to make a diamond, because she says it early on, right? She's like, no, I prefer to shop because if I made it from my quirk, I'm going to destroy the economy.
exactly.
So
if I was a villain, I'd crumble that fucking economy.
just make gold bars.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that'd be
Honestly, even if she went legit, she could just make gold bars and sell it to like tech companies and shit.
right.
Very
Like
true.
as long as you made sure that you contracted somebody. This is really weird to think about it because right, like there are like they call them conflict metals, and this is a real problem that happens in tech.
Yeah.
Stuff like gold,
Lithium.
lithium. Stuff that you have to go to these countries where terrible fucking people make their criminal empires and selling these fucking conflict fucking metals. And
Well, I mean, blood diamonds are a thing, right?
she could completely fucking stop that.
Yeah.
When you think about the application of quirks, like obviously when you look at My Hero Academia, it's more often put in the hero versus villain kind
It's
of
like boots on the ground. Like
yeah, but it's like there's so many, so many.
it could be crazy. It could be
So
crazy.
do we want to each do one more favorite or no?
Yeah, I would say
I got
one more.
what's my other?
I mean, you know mine. I mean, you guaranteed know mine because my absolute favorite is Erasure. Absolute favorite.
That's fair.
Because like one, he's a cool fucking character. I know you can't really judge the quirk on the character, but like the combination.
No,
of the
but
two,
that's kind of the thing, right? Is that a lot of the time it's like it almost seems like the quirk also influences the character.
yeah, it really it really does, and I think that's kind of one of the reasons why like it just sticks in my mind. He's just such like. It's just cool. How the quirk works is cool. How the character is cool.
So, okay, I'll go first again because this is the thing, right? This is going to be a weird one, but I like this character a lot. He's really stuck out to me. Brainwash with Shinso.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Fire.
So this has more to do with the fact that Shinso is fucking trying so hard to be a hero because his quirk is not heroic, right? How often in something is the brainwash character just like, I can do whatever I want and nothing happens?
Yep.
And he dislikes that people tell him to do that. He's trying so hard to be a good guy.
Yeah, and he even takes up Eraserhead's like
The capture scarf.
yeah.
Because
Oh
Eraserhead starts doing unique training with him. So maybe brainwashing itself isn't one of my favorites, but Shinso as a character is like fucking amazing. If I was going to actually just pick another quirk, Dark Shadow. From Fumikage, the fact that he can just because it's a second thing, right?
Yes.
He has another living creature vaguely, but it's intelligent.
he's Zato 1.
Yes.
Hey, fuck yeah, from Guilty Gear.
Yeah. But he didn't die to get his power.
Yeah,
Right.
Fair.
I think if I was to pick another favorite quirk, something that's it's got to be hardening.
That's fair.
Just because, as far as an application goes, like being able to do the most, just being able to like blast somebody with a whole bunch of fucking fire or be able to completely freeze a whole city block, fucking awesome. Believe me, it's not lost on me.
But being the guy that can survive it,
yes, that you just hold your fucking ground.
right?
I like that idea, and I like the fact that Kirishima can turn his arms and legs into like kind of vaguely blade-like, you know, but mostly it is just about endurance and just being fucking unbreakable. Like that was his signature move, was Red Riot Unbreakable. And like it got me so fucking hyped when he did that. He got so much spikier.
Dude, that was one of the biggest, and I'm starting to see a theme that's kind of happening with our second quirks that we picked here, is that oftentimes, like, you look at the quirk itself, if you were just to describe it, it's not really that like crazy, but when you see it and like these characters put it into action,
right,
it's like damn, like that's fucking awesome.
Yo, the fact that so here's the thing,
a little bit
right?
Telling of our personalities.
Ashido actually like makes a move based on Kirishima, right? Because she makes Acid Man.
Yes.
So she surrounds herself in just like maximum viscosity liquid, which that's the thing, right? A high viscosity liquid is hard to get through because you can't break its density. So that was just such a cool evolution of her character too.
No, and like that, like that's one of the biggest things, character driven. You look at these quirks and it's like, damn, man, they use it in such unique ways, and it's like, damn, man, I want that quirk. I want that.
So now, once again, the cast of Critical Hit
gets isekai
into My Hero Academia.
I like that you picked that because it's like your least favorite genre of anime.
Yeah, I absolutely fucking can't stand isekai. It makes my balls itch. I can't fucking stand it. But
hardening.
Hey, I got a quirk.
Oh, fucking no.
Oh my gosh. Tonight's gonna be interesting. Corner my wife and be like, I got a quirk.
She's gonna hit you with a frying pan.
Thirst quota achieved.
Yeah, that's for the first time in Critical Hit history, it was you.
So right, like, what would a quirk be for us? Like, what would we do? I've got an idea. And this shit came to me, and I'm not even fucking kidding. It came to me in a dream. And it was fully fleshed out.
Yeah.
It was insane, right? So, granted, it has a little bit of that, you know, like your dreams slightly mirror your realities, like what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
My quirk, right? I am an emitter type. My quirk allows me to bond things that I touch.
Okay.
Inanimate objects. They can't be separated.
Okay.
I would be a rescue type hero.
You're Mineta.
No. I'm better than Mineta.
I'm Mineta, bitch.
Mineta, bitch. Boom, 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 boom. No. So my
you just witnessed that, Crow.
I saw nothing. We're audio only.
Yes, true.
So my hero name is Plaster.
Okay.
And my quirk is bonding.
How on theme.
Yep. I'm a plasterer. That's what I fucking do. And it was really weird. It was absolutely insane because it actually, my whole fucking thing, right? I had my gear, bro.
Right.
My whole freaking outfit was obviously construction themed.
The Tyvek suit.
No, like it was like cargo pants, right?
Okay.
But I had like a cool shirt, and it had some high vis stripes, and I had a fall arrest harness, right? And they have the little lanyard off the back.
Yeah.
But instead of using it to stop myself from falling, I would swing it and throw it, and it would hook onto things, and I would swing around like that.
Okay.
And then I have a plastering trowel that was longer and it worked as a sword.
Okay.
So what I would do,
But you're a rescue hero.
hey, if a motherfucker's got to shake, a motherfucker's got to
Yeah,
shake.
you still got shit.
But the thing,
Hands. All right, 13.
and also, like, if you need to, like, cut somebody out of something. So here's the thing. You don't know this, but if you do exterior plaster, or if you do EFIS, right, all you do is sharpen these fucking trowels. It's the I'll bring it in.
Okay.
I'll bring it in. Let's see. I'll bring it in Friday. It's the sharpest fucking thing you've ever fucking seen.
So please don't listen.
Don't leave it around your children.
We're celebrating a birthday Friday, so please
We'll
don't.
cut the cake with a trowel.
Yes, it's I'm gonna say it's sharper than a scalpel.
No,
and the thing,
I don't know about that.
The thing is, as plaster, I would be able to cut through objects to get to people. And if there was something that was going to collapse on them, I would be able to use my quirk bonding to stop things from falling apart. I can just hold shit together.
Right.
No, that's I like that.
That is cool. That is actually pretty cool.
Okay, so yeah, no, I mean that's fleshed out. That's actually really cool.
And it's so fucked up. It was so like I got the sleep. I got the sleep apnea. so I don't dream. I used to not dream. It was one of the first dreams that I fucking had after getting my my CPAP machine and being able to like not suffocate when I sleep.
Right.
Like that shit has stuck with me. I've been trying to talk about it, but I don't know how to.
Yeah, it's like insane. Like I was looking down and like the lanyard. Because if you ever wear a fucking fall arrest harness, the lanyard is got a heavy fucking block on it. It'd be perfect as a grappling hook.
Right.
And I was just swinging around. It was sick.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, I got to give you that. That's actually a really cool idea.
That'd be my hero name, Placer. My quirk is bonding.
That's actually really cool. So, I was thinking hard about this because since Chrono brought up the topic, I've been really thinking hard about it. And I'm like, it actually took me a while to come up with this idea, right? So, my hero name is Good Vibes. And
oh boy. Okay, this is gonna go one of two ways.
Hold on, hear me out. The quirk is called Karmatic. It is a hero-only quirk. That's the biggest thing. It does not work in the case of villainy. So when you do good things and you do your positive crap, you release dopamine into the brain. Yeah, that's just an inherent thing that happens. So what happens is you take this dopamine that's released in your brain, you take that chemical and you channel it into kinetic energy, which is released through certain points in your body. So you can release it through you can release it through feet, you can release it through fingers, you can release it through. And basically the idea is that as a hero, you just control kinetic energy in multiple ways. So I was imagining you could like fire off like a rocket if you wanted to. You could like, if I need to like power up my punch, I could like add kinetic energy to it and just blast somebody in the face with it if I needed to. You know, just a lot of different ways to kind of like control the kinetic energy, and then you could use it to power up attacks. You could use it. So yeah, I was also thinking deep down to even as the costume design, because the drawback, there's a couple drawbacks.
One, you have to constantly be like doing good things for people.
Or drugs.
Yeah.
Total chaotic. Wow, why you gotta be like that?
You could.
It's just about dopamine.
No, he like smokes a blunt.
So here's what I was thinking.
His support item is an endless blunt.
I'm going to start with the
It's a
suit. The costume that you would use would be to essentially make it so that your body could withstand said kinetic energy. Because just because you can use the kinetic energy doesn't mean that your body can withstand the high amounts of kinetic energy. So that's pretty much what the suit is going to be for. The drawbacks are overloads of dopamine would make it so that, because theoretically you think about it, we could build something this day and we could have a certain rating to it. We'll say a kinetic energy rating just to fucking bullshit it right now. And just because you build it with a certain rating doesn't mean necessarily that you can't kind of go over that. So so in the case of if you want to just spam something like, oh man, I'm just gonna fucking toke a bunch of weed, and then next thing you know, dopamine receptors, you might overload it.
Well, yes, generally that's the thing, right? Is that if you overuse your dopamine receptors, they require an ever higher high.
Yep. So there's a certain point.
So that ends up creating a serotonin imbalance.
Precisely, which is where the karmatic part comes from it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you actually got to be doing good things.
That's what I'm saying. So
that's pretty sick.
Yeah. So the other thing is, obviously, you know, if you do end up overloading your dopamine receptors, you could do it in random situations. So we'll say the old fashioned the hub.
Oh my gosh, you're a fucking. Why do you always do it? Why are you always
fucking degenerate?
No, you might be in more ways than one. You might be blasting through the roof.
Damn, you're disgusting. Of course, you'd have to do. And why do you have to end it on that?
Anyway,
no, I felt like that was pretty good. I felt like that was pretty good.
So. My quirk, psychokinesis.
Oh, okay.
So
he's just gonna be fucking. He's Jean Grey from. No, he's Phoenix.
So that's the thing, right? Psychokinesis is specifically defined as the ability to manipulate a physical system without touching it. A physical system is defined. It can be various things. If you look at a lake of water, it can be the whole lake, half the lake, or an individual molecule within the lake. So this quirk would require a lot of training to fully fucking use.
Okay.
But if you get to it, you could alter the molecules in your body. So again, carbon is one of the most versatile molecule atoms in the universe. Depending on how you shape it, you have coal, you have life, you have diamonds. So you could manipulate your own body technically to become diamond hard. Obviously, you have to be careful because if you don't do it right, you could cut yourself. Mm-hmm. So you could kill yourself with this quirk.
That's a pretty big fucking drawback.
That means that you could manipulate molecules in the air. So much like elasticity, you could make air hard.
This is, you know, like, somehow this doesn't surprise me that you have found a way to realistically fuck up reality with your power. Damn it. He's out there. He's not even min-maxing. He's just fucking maxing.
He's maxing from somewhere.
Well, because that's the thing, right?
Maxi could never.
If you're fighting another emitter type, you can just, if they're throwing heat at you, you just remove the oxygen from the fire.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good quote.
You just use psychokinesis to start fucking with atoms.
So so here's the thing. Can I point this out? We were like, okay, it's going to be quirks. And you're like, I need to figure out something that could be like one for all for one level. But with that, I was like, I just want it cool.
No, because if you think about pulling atoms apart, you could just make somebody explode like a nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
That's fucking.
But the level you would have to get to do that, I don't know if you could do in one human lifetime.
Yeah, because think about the current age of like the main My Hero Academia characters. They wouldn't be able to fuck with that at all.
Right.
Promise
like,
you.
I would have to train from like the age that those kids are at 15 to like Heihachi.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but at the same time, though, like.
But even you were kind of right, though, because that's Phoenix, right?
Right.
Because she has the basis of Jean Grey's telepathy and telekinesis, but she's just out here manipulating physical systems.
Yep.
That's all she's doing.
Okay, that's true.
But I think one of those things where like you could develop that quirk, if you had the right mindset to go into it, like somebody like Shinzo
Yeah.
would more likely be able to. I guess the crazier your hair and the least eyebrows you have, the closer you would get to just maximizing that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you would only need to do it one fucking time.
Right.
If you know what I mean, like you'd have to, if you sat there on a park bench and just thought of a distant mountain, just kept staring at it, just kept looking at it, just kept working it, like, because it's like clay. You just keep picking at it until you pick a small enough piece apart.
Right.
You separate that piece and blow a fucking mountain to nothing.
Right. That's the other thing, right?
And then you'd be like, flex, hard flex. It's just like, what you want now, dude?
Right. So if you wanted to go the villain route, if you learn how to manipulate people's heart valves, you just close it and they have a heart attack.
Yeah, just hold it.
Huh. I will say this, though. It does have a pretty big drawback if you wanted to be a hero.
Yeah.
Because if somebody could get control of you, everyone else is fucked.
Absolutely.
Like,
no, that's the thing about powerful quirks, right? Because like if Shinzo was a villain and got a hold of somebody like Todoroki, right? Todoroki is very powerful.
That would be fucking scary.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why Shinzo as a person is that good.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, it's just like that would be the other cool part though is oh, this guy has a heart blockage. No, he doesn't.
Ooh, you're kind of
Like, if
all around at that point.
Yeah, like that'd be one of those situations where if someone drops out and they're having a stroke, you could like stop that shit.
Right. Because you can move the blood vessels. You can get the blood flowing.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good one. Because I'll be honest, I'm aggressive. That's my thing.
I mean, I primarily would be using this to attack because just the ability to pick up a fucking boulder and throw it at somebody.
But if we're talking about which this might be a good segue. If we're talking about who's going to be the number one hero.
Well, hang on. Let me give you my hero name. Dynamic.
Dynamic.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one.
So here's the thing, right? It used to be called kinetics. That was the field of science.
Right.
But now that's more the field of engineering. Science is more moved to dynamics. So that's where dynamic came from.
That's really good.
I was about to be kinetic. That was going to be my hero name. I was like, it doesn't really explain the point behind it too much.
But Good Vibes really does work for that.
Yeah, Good Vibes is excellent for that.
Yeah.
But what would be the ranking? I don't think I would even make top 20. Unfortunately.
I might keep it a buck. So here's the thing.
So we should rank each other.
Yeah, we can't rank our own.
You know.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give it this. You have a chance to explain your case. Explain why you would be a high ranked hero, and then the other two can judge.
Okay. So am I on the I'm on the block?
You're on the block right now.
Okay. So the thing that would make me a high ranking hero would be, I think I'd be a high ranking hero because I would focus on one thing. I'm not going to be out stopping crime. I am going to be nearly flawless in my execution of like being able to stop like fucking natural disasters. Someone's wilding out and using their quirk and just blasting shit.
Right.
Like I'm all over the place and just pew, pew, pew. And my emitter quirk, it just bonding two things together, I think it would have I think the drawback would probably be not quite, it wouldn't be the drawback that I wouldn't be able to bond things. The only drawback would be how fast I could move across an area to bond it.
Right.
Which, I mean, to be fair, support quirks are oftentimes paired with more active quirks.
So here's the thing, right? Number 8, Wash is not an attack hero.
Right.
Wash is a support and rescue hero.
And I think I could probably do better.
That's an interesting
Because it'd be a situation like, it's Spider-Man swinging and being able, like, if you know the mythos of fucking plastering and how sharp those fucking tools can get, that's how you don't need the jaws of life when you can just cut through things. And
well, that's the other thing, right? Because you could modify your trowel, right? Just make it a diamond tip.
Yep.
Your hero would be the best first responder.
Yes.
Period.
I think so.
I would vote that. I would
too, because that's the thing, right? Part of being a hero is being able to save people's lives. It's not just about offense.
Yeah. I would say I'm gonna vote. I got my number 6. Number 6.
Hell yeah.
So here's the thing. I do think that overall being able to, because as the point of being a hero is to rescue somebody. And to have various different ways of being able to rescue somebody in an effective way, I would say that, I would say number 6. Number 6, I feel like it's a fair ranking.
I'll go 7.
Nice.
You can make top 10. And like you said, I think you could be better than Wash. Because
Definitely.
Wash is just weird. It's just a washing machine.
Yes.
So I'm gonna, all right, so I'm gonna take my chance to argue my case. So I will say, as far as being a frontliner, I feel like I could argue that I would be one of the better frontliners. So I could match speeds. Tenya couldn't.
Don't be coming after my boy
Ida. He couldn't. I can match his speeds. I can match strength with some of the strongest out there. I mean, granted, being bursts.
Okay.
And it would have a requirement of being able to do something good beforehand. But if you are a hero by default, it kind of puts you into a high dopamine.
You're always going to have a baseline, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you have a good baseline to continually draw from the well.
So that's very similar to almost One for All, right? You would have to use it at percentages.
Yeah. Yep. Very much so.
You'd have to dial yourself in and out.
Yeah. Yep. You would not be able to expend everything all at one go, because even though you might be continually doing something good, that doesn't mean that your brain's constantly, doing dopamine at that point. So you would have to. The initial high is what you kind of got to ride, for lack of a better term. But it's like there's a lot of things that you could do at that point. If I needed to reach heights, I could reach heights.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because the way I see it is kind of like if you look at Uraraka, kind of how she has like the connection,
gravity,
the zero gravity.
Right? Yeah. So it kind of be like that, except it would just be for releasing the energy instead. So if you think about it, you got it on the bottoms of your feet, shoot up. Boom.
So I think the drawbacks would come from, since it is bursts, like if you talk about Ida, he can change direction rapidly.
He can turn on a dime.
Yes.
That is true.
It'd be a situation where you would have to stop.
You would need gear that lets you, like...
Well, the gear would be to protect his body.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like, if he has, like, a flap that opens up that allows him to do sharp turns with a burst of energy or something like that.
Yeah. I would say one of the X factors that would increase his rank would be the humanitarian work.
Yes, absolutely. Because you're just going to be like, I'm going to be out at a soup kitchen. Because that's the thing. You'd be in uniform at the soup kitchen and you'd be like, yeah, I'm just handing stuff out.
Yeah, because like if that's the charge for the quirk, it's also a way to make yourself a public icon.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So I
have my number.
You
want me to just give my number
go
first?
for it.
3.
Yeah, he'd be 3. I think he'd be definitely top 3. I think the lowest would be number 3.
Yeah.
Thank you. Shit. I appreciate that.
Because like for instance, Hawks is number 2 by default.
Because he's so good at saving people.
Yes. And I think that in that universe, somebody with a greater humanitarian like image would overtake Hawks, as even if you're not quite as good as at like rescuing and stuff.
Yeah.
I think for sure it would be a situation where the personality would.
Well, being heroic isn't always being reactive, right?
Yes.
It's Endeavor says that himself, right?
Yeah.
He's kind of like, I prefer to be proactive. That's the point of hero patrols.
Yes. But I think like it's not like it, even the name Good Vibes is. It's not just about like throwing down on people. There's a lot that would go into charging the quirk, and it's a lot that goes into the personality of that hero. So it would be probably for sure like a top 3.
Yeah.
Shit. I mean, well, thank you. I feel really good about that.
All right. You know I'm gunning for it.
Let's hear it.
So here's the thing, right? Avalanche, gone.
Okay.
Fucking guy just stole everybody's fucking purses and shit. Back.
Yep. I think it's tough when you can edit reality.
So here's the thing. All right, this is gonna be a dig deep here.
Is it a dig deep to substantiate the high one or to try to make it lower?
So this is gonna be the pretty much the only counter argument you could make against that. So this is not to make it lower, but I am saying that there is some follies to it.
I agree.
So here's the thing, as we have already stated, there's the problem of if anybody could get a control of you.
Yes.
It would then be not only a problem,
or if he just decided, fuck it.
Yeah, the biggest problem, like, because like that's one of the biggest things. Like, if somebody say a mind controlling quirk took control of me, for example. Oh shit, my quirk is I can use good karma essentially to give me kinetic energy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're evil and you're trying to make me do evil things,
doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's one of the major drawbacks, is that if you were to get taken over by something.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't know if there's any way, because I'm not a sciencey type, so I don't know if there's any way to counteract that.
So it would depend on the type of control, right? Because you can use drug conditioning to try and condition people to do what you want. But part of this is manipulating. You can alter your own neurochemistry. So if someone does try to do that to you, you can unprogram it.
Right.
It would have to be something way more like Shinzo.
Yeah.
But even then.
So, how Endeavor was number 2?
Right.
He's number 2 strictly based on performance.
Yeah.
I think that would be a situation where you'd be top 3 strictly on performance, but it'd be a tough thing for people to not be fucking scared of you.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And the same reason why Endeavor's number 1 now just because All Might isn't there.
Yeah.
And people are scared the fuck to death of Endeavor because he is just blast your ass with the heat of the sun.
That's actually a really good point.
And he's always scowling and very fucking mean. And maybe he's not mean to people, but damn it.
No, I don't smile a lot.
Yeah,
so
yeah, exactly. I'm envisioning you and your personality and being able to click people gone. And I'm like, it'd be tough to sell him as a fucking hero. It'd be like, he's just was he just annoyed at those guys? They're gone.
So
or they've been turned into babies. Some ridiculous shit, because like you start messing with people's atoms, like what the fuck?
So I do agree on that. That's an interesting way to look at it. I didn't really look at it like that at first. But I will say that it's inarguably 2, in my opinion. Because, like, here's the thing. Yes, it's a hard sell publicly, but at the same time, it's like...
Yeah, you can't argue with the numbers.
Yeah, those streets are safe, dog.
Yeah. and it's that same fucking Endeavor effect.
So effect-wise, 1. But if you add in the public element of it too.
Two. That's fair.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, right? It would almost kind of unintentionally end up a hero being the symbol of fear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, the average person would go about their day just fine, but, like, you know, they'd still be kind of like, I jaywalked. What's going to happen?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
And I think it'd be a situation where you'd have to battle with Crimson to not get knocked out at 2.
Absolutely.
Because the personality game, that just the hero setup for.
Nah, he's a fucking hype man. Like,
Yeah.
he's always out here like, let's fucking go. We're going to do this.
Like if he scored some high profile busts or something.
Yeah.
Like if he busts in and kicks the Shie Saikai around, it'd be a situation where he's 2 or even number 1.
Oh, but I would love to go against Overhaul with a fully powered psychokinesis.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It would just get ugly.
So
It'd just
I
be
know.
splats all over the ground.
so here's an interesting thing. Is it wild card, flip it. Villains.
Villains, I would make a
I'm gone.
terrible villain.
No.
I'm gone. I'm out the running.
Here's the thing, though.
Well, if you become a sadist, then your power goes out of fucking control, right?
True.
If you're one of those people who just like to watch people suffer.
But here's the thing. So here's an interestingly, possibly incredibly naively optimistic look on things, is that I don't believe that a lot of people are okay with that. I don't believe that a lot of people truly find any type of pleasure from sadistic things. Because even if you look at things like mass murderers, you look at your Ted Bundys, you know, you look at your what was that fucking recent one that they made a show about? Fucking You
Dahmer?
Yeah, Dahmer. There we go, Jeffrey Dahmer. All of them generally have some tone of remorse behind everything. So
Some of them.
So I would say that the initial dopamine effect of it would probably be incredibly high. But I feel like the tapering would be rather quick.
Here's where I'm going to go with you. If you were to go a villain, Charles Manson, you would be that style. You're not going to be the front line villain. You're going to get your rocks off from manipulating people to do it.
Yeah.
And then if somebody comes at you, you can just release that kinetic energy.
Yeah, the idea of good vibes is you're getting people on board. The cult of personality.
Yes.
I didn't think about it like that. So here's the thing. Now with that number,
I would say probably you would be.
As a villain, you might. That's tough because, right, all for one exists.
Yes.
Yeah, yep.
And he was the cult of personality.
Yeah. The thing is that if he viewed you as a rival, he would just kill you.
That's the thing. Yeah, no.
But if you take, so let's say we're in America because that's where we live.
Yes.
So we'll be American heroes and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
I would say
we got some distance.
So as a villain, you could probably take the number 1.
Okay.
Yeah, it would either be a number 1 or I would say number 5 with some 1 spikes.
Yeah.
I think that it would be.
You'd definitely be on a wanted list.
Yeah, for sure, top 10.
Okay.
I would be a terrible villain.
No. So here's the thing about your thing, right? The ability to bond 2 items together. So you're in a high-speed chase with the police. Just carry a fucking can of soda, throw it at their tire. All of a sudden, they've hit they can't roll. Throw a block at them.
Oh, yeah.
Your quirk, you're not really a mass murderer. You'd be a fucking bank robber.
Yeah.
Because you can just cut into the back of it, get in, get out.
Oh, that's fucking right.
And then you can seal it right back up.
Escape would be pretty good.
Yeah, hold up though, because I wasn't even really thinking about that. Because if you think about a lot of things that are kind of built, even as far as security goes and everything like that, it's like it's built off of a very I'm gonna say even playing field. You combine it with anything, it's fucked.
Right. So like you just fucking pop something over the camera.
Yeah.
Never there.
Yeah, that's the thing is, You're a fucking heist master.
You're a heist dude.
I think
it would be lower ranking though.
Definitely, because you're a white collar criminal, right? because he's going to be encouraging people to steal, murder, plunder, all that shit. He's leading a pirate crew.
Yes. I would be...
Like, you could end up on the top 10 if you just, like, emptied, Fort Knox.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it would be tough, like, as far as having, like, being able to, like, survive in, like, a really bad situation. Like, if a heist goes wrong.
Right.
So it'd be a situation it'd be smash and grabs.
Yeah.
But really good smash and grabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still don't think it would rank very high.
I mean, I think you could end up maybe not on a government's most wanted list, but definitely a corporation's.
You're like
Like if you just had a corporation that pissed you off
Yes.
and you just started a vendetta against them. Because that's the thing, right? Like I said, you're not a murderer.
Yes, I think I could probably be like a...
You could crack top 20, I think.
I feel like something like 2017 kind of thing. I feel like that would be, because I feel like if as soon as you stop going after just being truly evil, because at the end of the day you could rob somebody and not necessarily be a fucking bad guy,
right?
So it's like, I feel like it's kind of like one of those twice situations.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Now we've got one last one. Yeah, number one.
One.
Yeah.
There's no quick, because I feel like,
dude, I myself would pay for All Might's ticket.
Yeah.
To fly over here and punch you in the face and hopefully stop you.
Because, like, let's just talk about what we talked about before, where it's like this becomes a thing where it's like
he talked about his power, and I forgot that we were talking about heroes.
Because that's the thing, is you have a control of fear, man. And like when it comes to being a villain, I think the thing that makes you the top villain, look at Joker from Batman, for example. He's not the fucking most superpowered, strongest, this, that, the other thing. The man controls by fear.
Yeah.
But also, his quirk would allow him to kill people, and people wouldn't know what happened.
No, I mean, definitively.
You squeeze a brain valve, and then they just die.
But,
right. That's not even like, oh, he just had a stroke.
Yes.
But here's the thing. I think that because the quirk, I feel like, can be very easily argued either way.
Right.
So I think that the thing that it comes down to is that this person has an ability that, like, when you square up with this motherfucker, it's like... This is not gonna end well. Like, if he says fucking jump, you're like, I really hope he doesn't fucking deconstruct me in midair. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's a situation where even if it's a situation where you could, I said situation twice, and now that's 3. If you can resist having your body chemistry altered and fucked with, it still is a situation 4. We're back at it. Now I'm hyper aware. It's still a scenario where you could just drop a fucking skyscraper on somebody.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter. You could just pull the fucking ground up and just like a book, just
villainous utility is what comes to mind.
Yeah,
it's like
it's one of those situations. There we go, and now we're at 6.
5, asshole.
5.
Yeah, scenarioed.
Yeah, you put a scenario in there. We're good.
It's, you need to come correct, and you need to really fucking... That'd be a situation where you'd have to... We're at 6 now, where you'd have to kill you.
Yeah.
There's no prison.
It's a twice level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't do it. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Number 1, it'd be Cataclysm level.
Yeah. Yep.
If we were to remember in One Punch Man where they ranked him in, like, it was like Oni, it was like Tiger, Oni, Dragon, Demon.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Demon.
Fucking demon.
For sure. But we were prepared for that. And with that, it is last call. Thanks for having a few with us. We are Critical Hit. The drink of the night was Neon Rainbow's New England style IPA from Ommegang.
Surprisingly good.
Yes.
Surprisingly.
Absolutely. And a very complex and colorful drink to match our ridiculous ideas of quirks. Go ahead and subscribe to us on Google, Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Pandora. Made it through the word salad this time. Anywhere where you get your podcasts, your subscription is very much appreciated. We are on Twitter at KritHitOfficial. Come join us every Thursday for a new episode of Critical Hit. Until then, go beyond.
Plus ultra.